Underneath the orchard soil, I'll never forget the last conversation I had with my family before I left. It felt like a betrayal, a slap in the face with an open palm. They sat around the dinner table, laughter bubbling between them like sweet poison as they recounted the tragic farce my life had become. They called me delusional, unhealthy, and worse. My pursuit of cursed agrobiology was labeled insanity, a fading vestige of the botanist they once knew. Cursed agrobiology? My brother scoffed, waving his fork dismissively. You mean worms? You're chasing shadows in the dirt, Clara. Good luck finding a respectable job when you're knee-deep in that nonsense. It was their laughter that shattered my resolve. But that was years ago. I was fired from the experimental farm, scapegoated for a crop blight that had nothing to do with me. Someone had to bear the blame, and it fell on me. The vibrant dreams of flora and farming withered as fast as the crops I had tended to. I ran away and into the shadows. There, in the bowels of forgotten greenhouses, I found myself. I immersed myself in the whispers of the ancient soil, rapidly researching the rare vermicomposters, those elusive creatures said to cleanse tainted land. They were laughed at. But in their dance beneath the earth, I found truth. These worms fed on corruption, morphing it into vitality, transforming the most cursed terrains into thriving ecosystems. Now, I was returning home, not as the disgrace they once mocked, but as a warning. The whispers of the land had turned into roars, and I was recognized as an expert. Clara Mercer, the botanist of the cursed, the headlines declared, as I charted the hidden ravines of our existence, where trauma lingered, where the soil bore scars, and where every crop told a story of pain. Yet, those accolades felt like a shroud as I approached the family home with a heart pounding in trepidation. My mother's sunflowers still bloomed, her pride, and I wondered what would happen when they saw what I had carried back with me. As I stepped through the door, a chill gripped me. I was not alone. They filled the living room, a vibrant tapestry of familial warmth, and yet it dimmed when they saw me. Their laughter died. Replaced with puzzled frowns and uncertain glances, I had changed, and they didn't know how to handle that. Clara? My mother's voice trembled, her hands wringing a kitchen towel like it was the lifeline she needed. You look different. Yes, I said, swallowing the words that threatened to spill. I've found something. They nodded, bemused, as I clutched my bag like a lifeline. I could feel their skepticism, an unyielding wall of disbelief. Their laughter echoed in my mind, dark and taunting. I emptied the contents of my bag onto the table where we once shared meals, laughter, and dreams, now stained by past ridicule. A small glass terrarium rolled forward, revealing the writhing mass of rare worms, their bodies glistening in the afternoon light. These are not just worms. They are the key to understanding the darkness that festers below our feet. They recoiled, their faces a tapestry of disgust. What have you brought into our home? My father growled, the mockery already creeping back into his voice. But I wasn't here to plead my case or seek validation. I was here to show them. I plucked a worm from the terrarium and held it up. It squirmed in the air, a living testament to my years of faith and fear. Let me show you, I whispered. I set the worm on a pot of soil my mother had kept for her deceased plants, a relic of laughter and love now turned to dust. As I watched, the worm burrowed into the earth, and a stillness enveloped the room. Then it happened. The earth began to tremble softly, a vibration that resonated through the floor. From the soil, tendrils emerged, reaching upward like grasping hands. A creeping vine, twisted with thorns and dark blooms, erupted from the pot. the petals revealing shadows that flickered and writhed as if alive, suffused with an ancient malice. Screams erupted. My family's laughter turned to horror. Their eyes wide with disbelief, as the very ground they stood upon heaved and groaned. The plants, they were supposed to bring life, not this grotesque mockery. "Clara, stop this!" my mother shrieked, her voice rising above the cacophony. But I couldn't. I was entranced by the horror I had unearthed, a revelation that had haunted me for years, the truth buried beneath the soil. "Don't you see?" I implored, my voice breaking. "You ridiculed me because you feared the truths I sought. But look at the darkness we've ignored. The horror exists because we deny it. It spreads among us like this vine." More vines wormed their way through the house, intertwining with furniture as the air thickened with an earthy scent mixed with something foul, something that reeked of decay and buried secrets. Desperation clawed at their faces as they witnessed firsthand the weight of their disbelief. My father stumbled back, the color drained from his face as he finally understood. This wasn't just a figment of my imagination. This was reality, and it was darker than any of us had dared to believe. As the darkness spread, I felt something shift within me. A resolve forged in years of solitude and scorn took root. I had faced the horror alone, and now it was time they faced it too. When the shadows receded, I looked at my family, their eyes wide, glistening with unshed tears and unvoiced apologies. I had become the bearer of truths they could no longer ignore. "Mom, Dad, I did this for us," I whispered, feeling the gravity in my bones as the last tendril fell away, leaving the room shrouded in an uneasy calm, the delicate blossoms still trembling under the dim light. They now bore witness to the legacy of our ignorance. And in that moment, they understood the weight of their laughter, the cost of their disbelief. I had risen from disgrace to be their warning, their reminder that some truths are better faced than buried. And as I stood among them, I felt the heavy crown of shadows settle upon my brow, a testament to what it meant to be both a survivor and a bearer of darkness.